hmm I know. We're filming now, and you need to lay down. I love you. I know. Happy Bookmas, everybody, from me and from Winifred today. Today, we're going to talk about my intentions for 2026 and how I did with my goals in 2025. Let's get started. All right, so I've talked about my goals periodically throughout the year, done some wrap ups and reviews of them, but I'm feeling pretty good about my goals. As you may remember, I did drop one, the Les Miserables, read a chapter a day, did not work out for me. I just could not get into that book. It was so dense, the print was so small, and it just didn't work at this time. But I did make my goal of 52 books. I exceeded that again, which I typically do. I think my backlist is at 50%. I've been watching that and I'm pretty sure that it is. But to be quite honest with you, I feel like I have really embraced that. So the goal for me was to embrace my backlist, and I definitely did. Completed the Mardi Gras readathon, did not complete the bookish inventory spreadsheets, more about that later. Increased my net galley percentage. I got it to 50%. I had a goal of 70, did not realize how tricky that was. 2 percentage points for each book you read. But I will say this, I got to 50 and then I started to get arcs from other places and I'm now at 48 or something, but I'm fine with that. Like I'm really, really letting that go. A book of the month club, I think I did do technically, just not the new ones that were on their list. So I'm fine with that. Create meaningful piles of possibilities or TBRs. I definitely feel like I did that. I was really fairly good at keeping up with the things I needed to read and to adding things, and just participating with myself around what I could and couldn't do, what I really wanted and what I was forcing myself to do. I DNF'd a lot of books too, which was very helpful. I did read more big books, and I think I slightly improved the quality of the content on my channel. I can't really vote on that. I shouldn't really make that a goal because that really depends on how other people feel about my channel. And but I did try to be more careful. I did try to be more deliberate, and I am still thinking about that. And so it's all going to be really, really great. It really, really is. Can I say really, really any more than I already say it? No, probably not. Here's what I'm thinking about in 2026. I don't want to have goals. I think goals have really created for me my own anxiety and slight overwhelm. And I don't love that. And I realize that I really do put that on me. You guys don't put it on me. Nobody else puts it on me. It's just me. I'm the culprit. So I would like to set intentions much like I do on the momentum group with my friend Kat and Jen and Liz and Lee. I would like to just kind of keep setting intentions and keep being aware of what I intend to do so that if I don't complete it, I don't feel so bad, or I don't feel so overwhelmed when I keep looking at it and saying, you said you'd do this, you said you'd do this. I am adding some personal intentions this year too, because there's several things I would like to do. A lot of people do 26 and 26, and that's too much for me. I'm going to start with just a few and see how that goes. And like I said, I can always add more if I complete them. But there's just some things I'd like to kind of focus on in the next year about my content, but as well as, my lifestyle and the way that I spend my time and what I'm noticing I want more of or less of, or those kinds of things. So this was a great year for me with my one little word, which was enough. I did pare back some things and I did say no to a few things that I just did not think I could easily manage. I felt really brave about that. Sometimes I felt bad or awkward, but I felt like I was getting there. I was really being true to myself and to my own mental and physical health at times. The other thing I noticed is that things were sometimes at ease and sometimes they were rocky, and I was trying to identify what those things were. And sometimes it was just that I, still felt kind of overwhelmed. So I'm still working on that. And oh gosh, I didn't mean to do that. And I think I was considering manifest, create, different words like that for next year, but I think my word for next year might be ease. It might really, really be ease. Really, really. So we have some things coming up. I can't talk about quite yet, but I'm very excited about them. And so I'm just considering what next year might look like and what I want to leave space for. And I think not setting goals that I feel I have to adhere to or I have done something wrong is not a good idea. So I'm going to set intentions. Now, in 2026, my intention is to read books. Now, generally, I have set a goal for myself and I have generally exceeded it in the last few years, especially since I've been on BookTube. However, I'm not going to hold myself to anything in particular, except for I'm going to set a goal on Goodreads so that I can then track what I'm reading and those kinds of things. I'm not loving Goodreads lately. It's really glitchy and tricky, and I may try to find something else. Storygraph doesn't quite measure up to what I'd like it to be, so if you have some suggestions, I'm open to them. But I'm going to probably set a goal on Goodreads for around 40 or 45. That will give me a space to read big books again because I'd like to do that. And I've purchased a few and I still have a few on my list. And so that's probably where I'm going to go with that. But again, it's not necessarily my goal. My goal is to just read great books and enjoy them all and talk about them with you. And whatever they are, right? So that's my intention. I do want to read more books that are large, right? So that's an intention for me as well. Big Book Summer was so much fun for me with my friend Sue Jackson, and I would like to participate in that again. But also, like I said, I just have a number of big books that I typically don't choose because I feel like there's a race, I guess. I don't know. I feel like there's a goal I have to achieve and I need to read these books really fast. And that's just not the case. And in fact, I think that partly might be what put me in a reading slump this year. I think there were a lot of factors, my anxiety and overwhelm. I would say that some of the things that were happening with clients and people that I love being laid off and different things happening to them, just challenges in a lot of ways this year that I don't typically have. So it could have been that, and it could have been my mood at times. Although I was taking really good care of myself and my mental health, I can always do better. And sometimes you can only do so much, right? You can't have perfect mental health all the time. But I will say that I did feel as though I was holding myself back still. And so this year, no holds barred. So that's where we're going to end up with that, is I can participate in readathons and participate in all kinds of stuff and enjoy it. I'll be throwing Mardi Gras readathon again out there for all of you, throwing about beads and all the other things we throw during Mardi Gras. But we will be doing that, Kat and I, and we'll be announcing it very soon. We'll have a group read very soon, so stay tuned for that. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about Big Book Summer again because that was really, really fun, and I had lovely experiences with the big books that I read. And I'm going to try to host sprints. I know. Not a bunch, like probably one a month or so, and see how that goes and see if people really want to join my sprints, because I don't know, they may not, right? I will be participating in more sprints as I did this past year. I'm really happy with the way that that worked out for me. It was a lot of times it was my patrons or Patreon groups, but it was also like Nicole at Noteworthy Fiction the other day. She does an entire day of sprints on Mondays. Did you all know this? I did not know this until my friend Jen, I think, told me, or Lee, somebody told me. And let me just say, it's incredible. You just do whatever you want to do, and you just kind of keep checking in and trying to honor whatever it was you were trying to get done. I loved it. So I do plan to do that as much as I can on Mondays when I don't have anything going on. So I'm going to host and join some sprints. And I put the word regularly, but regularly is, as regular as I can make it work, right? I do always need to remember that I have a lot of work and I have work that I love. All right, read titles on my Nook. I recently bought this little girl and I have not named her yet. Just can't settle on it. But I did start stuffing some books. I have a list of those books that I'll share with you soon about what I've added and what I really want to prioritize. There are a lot of older books here that I may never get to that I got for free years ago, or at that time I thought they would be good, or I was in a different season. I have read a number of books from my Nook, but it's really gotten the least sort of amount of care and tending in terms of the TBR. So this year I'm going to do an inventory of that, start to really log in what I have, what I probably won't read, and what I want to get to. So I've added some lately. Stay tuned for a video about that. But I will not be reading my Kindle every day next year. I am almost done with that goal of reading my Kindle every day. I'm at 465 days, I think, something like that. I don't know. It's been a lot of days. It's well more than a year now, but I'm going to finish out this year because that was my goal and intention. And I can't not do that. But next year, it's just read my Nook whenever I feel like reading my Nook, and read my Kindle when I feel like reading my Kindle. And I do have a number of ARCs, so I'm going to be reading my Kindle, sure. Pango Shop. I love to get this up and running. I would love to push past the barriers that I have internally about this goal, intention. And I would like to get this stacks of books sold to people who really want them, or given to people who really want them, because I might choose to do a lot of that as well. I still have some in my car. I still need to reach out to my friend Liz and see how I go about doing this and how easy it is. She assures me that it is easy, and I would love to start that and get it going and feel good about it. So that is one of my intentions. Rereading is also an intention for me. I have a pile that I would like to reread, as I shared the other day, but I just want to be able to feel comfortable with and able to reread if I want to. I got a book from my friend Kat, who did a giveaway a couple of weeks ago. It came in the mail yesterday. I'm so excited and very pleased to get that. She's so sweet. Kat is such a generous human. But also, I'm not going to share it with you because it's in my haul, but I've already read it, and I got it, and I was like, I'd really like to reread this. This is the perfect season. This is a really good book. I really enjoyed it. So we shall do what we want to do, right? But I intend to do some more rereads and to kind of do them consistently, but not in a like I have to reread something once a month or every 2 months or anything like that, because we're not going to do it that way this year. I have a spreadsheet. I have had a spreadsheet from someone else who created it, and it was just a little too complicated for me. So I was searching for new bookish inventory and bookish tracking spreadsheets, and Becca had offered one up one day on one of her videos on Books and Bujo. And I thought I'll give this a try. It was really reasonably cheap, and it's very robust, and it's for several years ahead. So I felt really good about that. I'll link where I got that in the comments or in the description box below if I can find it again. I'm sure I can. But that I would like to try to use, but not get so overly sucked into it that I feel bad about myself if I don't do it. Same is true with the book journal. Will I do another book journal? I'd like to. Do I want to feel the pressure and like the oh, Lori, you're terrible at this. Do this. You're not doing this. Why aren't you doing this? Inner dialogue. So my whole focus on tracking and inventorying books and putting them in a book or a spreadsheet is to really make it something that feels fun and useful and something that I can schedule. Maybe that might be a little too rigid for me for an intention, but really just make some time for that periodically. I would like to read more books in a series that I have loved. I'm not going to say I'm going to complete a series this year or a number of series, but I would like to get caught up in a couple of them or get closer to completing some of the cozies that I have. I absolutely adore them. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure that Agnes doesn't hurt herself or others here because she had her eye removed and she's rubbing it. She rubs it a lot, but I think this season has been harder for her for some reason. Maybe it's allergies. Nevertheless, sorry, just got off tangent there. I would like to get to some of those books periodically without necessarily buying them all either. Because I like Cleo Coyle, and I have a number of hers, but not many. I have a bunch of Laura Childs, but I don't know that I need to collect all those anymore. Like I'm thinking about this shelf space, and I'm thinking about, well, am I ever going to reread all of these? Or, it's unlikely. So my whole attitude is changing about what to buy and what to keep. I hope anyway. It seems to be. So I would like to maybe get caught up in, for example, the Susan Ryland series that Anthony Horowitz has written. She has a new one that just came out, Marble Hall Murders. And I would like to maybe get closer to completing his other series that I love, Horowitz and Hawthorne. And so, yeah, there's certain small ones that I feel like I could maybe get caught up with this year, but that's really not the goal. The goal is just to keep reading series because I have so many of them. I even have a few fantasy series that would probably be nice if I embrace that genre, as I think I'm going to this year in a new way. And maybe I could get those done too. We shall see. And low buy is what I'm calling it for 2026. I would like to buy fewer books and borrow more books at my library. I really, really would. Really, really. And so I think to do that, I'm going to have to approach this as a lower buy year. I don't know that I have to do a complete no buy month, but I might be able to do a no buy month just because I am committing to accessing books in a different way. And my library has done an interlibrary loan for me on a book that I wanted the other day that they didn't have. It's actually, just spoiler alert, it's Will Prescribe You a Cat, because I've wanted to read that one for a while. And I can do that. My library's not far. I have library cards for all kinds of libraries around me. I'm trying to figure out how to get those library cards from libraries that I'm not near. I know you can do it. I don't know how. It's driving me a little crazy, but we'll figure it out. But low buy, borrow from friends, use libraries more, read my backlist. Those are the things that will help me to create a low buy. All right, let's go to my personal intentions for 2026. I have been spending more time this last year, especially this last few months, doing some creative things. Would like to return back, though, to some things in 2026. Knitting is one. I do love to knit, especially in the winter. I don't knit well. I don't make lovely sweaters or blankets or anything like that. I make hats and mittens and coasters and pot holders and anything that I can just watch TV and knit easily. I have been cross stitching and I've enjoyed that very, very much. And so I will continue to do that. I just need to find a light, like one of those lights on your head or something. I think Sue Jackson was sharing one of those the other day. I saw just a blip of that when I was scrolling through. But I think I need my stronger glasses, close-up glasses, and I need a little light for my head. And I would like to get back to scrapbooking. And I did do a little bit of that. I've started to reconnect with my scrapbooking community and friends. And I am determined to start back on that hobby this year because, and I say determined, but I'm going to make it my intention to do that because I miss it. I really miss documenting my kids' lives. And that's how I ended up on YouTube, was because of scrapbooking. And that's how I ended up creating a channel. So, it's kind of a legacy for me to, to keep with, to keep doing, to keep showing up for. I would like to make more money this next year than I did this year. I'm not starving. Don't worry about me at all. But I did have fewer clients this year, less money. Luckily, last year I was able to bank some money, and we're able to do that as much as we can. So I'm not worried about it. It's not really a tragedy, but I would like my income to be greater this year. And I think what I did was I said, oh, you're going to take some time anyway. You're going to step back a little bit. So don't work, don't overwork and overconnect. But there are a couple of things I'd like to add back. And they're just things that I love to do and that, I get paid to do. So I'm probably going to do that this year. And hopefully the economy will lift up a little bit and we will all make more money again this year. So that's kind of my goal, is to really look at ways in which I could expand my income. Bookkeeping, I know. Me and bookkeeping, me and spreadsheets, me and math are not kindred spirits, but I just don't want to keep waiting till the end of the year and then have 7 months worth of bookkeeping to do, which is what I'm going to have if I don't. Well, I mean, it's the end of the year, so it's what I have. It's what I have. And I don't want to wait and not get this to my accountant and those kinds of things. I get it to her, but it's like last minute, and I'm sure she doesn't like that. I wouldn't like it if I were her. I wrote down quarterly, but that's very rigid. I could just bookkeep when I feel like it, right? Like I feel led, when I have an extra hour. I don't have to finish everything in one sitting. I can just, hey, let me get back to this. Let me get back to this. Have some free time, bookkeeping. We'll see. I'd love us to reorganize our garage. We're doing well with it so far. We are doing better, but we would benefit greatly from a little bit more attention and to getting some shelving and some other things that will help us to store some things a little bit more easily. And so that's one of the things we've been working on, and we will probably continue to work on this year. Lisa would like to paint in our garage. She would like to throw paint, because she's done that before years ago. And in order to do that, we have to have space, and we have to have a setup where she can do that safely and happily. And yeah, so that's the goal this year. And we really want to purge this year a number of things that we just don't need. We just don't need them. I need to be walking and moving more. And that is a real need for me. I have not been doing as well since the weather got really cold here. And so I need to be aware that I'm a Chicago girl. I should be able to walk in the cold, right? Like it's not that cold, but I have not been doing it. And I would like to get back to yoga because I'm noticing some stiffness in my neck some mornings, and I'm just noticing some crackling, and yoga is just so meditative and peaceful for me, so it would help my mental health as well as my physical health. I need to repair my car. My car's name is Virginia. She's old. She's been with me since 2013, maybe a long time. She's a Prius, so she's a survivor. She's a beautiful, beautiful thing. But she needs some work. I think I need new brakes, and she needs something else that he told me about last time I went. I didn't need it then, but he said, you're going to need to do this. And it was kind of an expensive thing, so I've been putting it off. But next year, I'm really going to need to attend to that. My daughter-in-law and my son gave us a great gift last year at Christmas, and I feel terrible about how we have not been able to use it regularly. But they gave us one of those things where they ask you questions about your life and your childhood and your preferences. And really what it does is it tells the story of your lives, and so they have those things forever, and they can reread them and share them with their kids and grandkids. I would really like to get caught up on that, and I am shamefully behind. So I'm going to spend some time doing that in the next weeks when I have some time off, and I'm going to try to get into a daily routine of doing that so that I can complete them all. I hope that they don't expire at the end of the year. If so, I'll probably feel compelled to renew it myself just so that I can finish and keep doing it because it's really a great thing. I don't know why I just haven't been able to make time for it, but I just need to release that guilt and sadness and do it. Just do it. Connect and do some new things with my partner this year. Connect to new places that we haven't seen or visited for a while. Connect to new ideas of things to do. I would like us to go back to, we used to have a prompt jar where we would pick things to do on the weekends or whenever we felt like it. And I really miss that. And I found it the other day when I was putting away something and I thought, oh, I forgot this was even up here. And so I brought it back down and now it's somewhere where we can see it. And I would like for us to make some time to unplug again, like we used to do, and, go here, go there, nowhere terribly far, although we could do that too. We could take a big trip, but we've talked about that. We're just not sure yet what that might look like. And, it's just the flights and there's just a lot of chaos with travel these days. So we're kind of watching that. But I would like us to do just small little things. We could even have, friends over for dinner again, which we haven't done in I don't know how long. Family, yes. Friends, not so much. We are also trying to take time for some self-care days and to really engage in some self-care. I love to do facial masks. I love to do baths. I love to prep meals. Those are very helpful to me as well. So there's lots of things that I would like to do on self-care days and unplug a lot. Like I said, maybe be more diligent about that. We used to do it once a month. We haven't done it in a long time. Our friends used to laugh at us because we'd come to do something and they wouldn't know if we were coming or not because they'd been texting us and we weren't answering. But we used to do it from Friday night sundown to Saturday night sundown, and we loved it. But I've noticed that this thing right here, while I love it, I'm so happy that I have it. It also gives me a notification for anything that I have notifications up for on my phone or my computer or my iPad. So I am eliminating some of those notifications, but also there are some that I really need to have. And so I think that I would like to figure out how to be at like sort of a turn off space for a bit of time. Like, for example, I'm part of the currently reading Patreon group, and I think it was Katie that was talking about there's some kind of a thing where you can block off everything for a period of time. It's some kind of an app, unless it's your family calling you or somebody that you've approved to break into it. And I would like to investigate that because I think that that would help me a lot too. And it would help me stay more present with myself and with other people around me. Because to be honest with you, I'll start playing Mahjong on my phone, and I can play Mahjong on my phone for an entire hour of television and just still watch and listen, or I can, Sudoku, which I'm now like completely obsessed with because I can do it. I think I need something that's not so much screen time. I think not reading the Kindle every day will definitely help. And reading more physical books will probably really help as well. Hopefully, we can make some progress. So I've got some arcs, I've got some backlist, I've got some abilities to create space for myself and others in my family and my life. I've got planning, I've got letting go and releasing, I've got ease, I've got joy, I've got so much gratitude for so many things, but also for all of you as well. So thank you for watching this today. It is a bit of a rant, but I did want to share with you kind of what my plans were. And I really want you to share with me what you're thinking about for 2026 as well, because I know you're probably doing the same thing I am, regardless of whether or not you do content on BookTube or not. You've probably got some ideas of what you'd like to do, and I can't wait to hear what they are and see if some of them are similar. That would be fun. Let me know in the comments below what you did this year that you're really proud of and you want to shout out to those of us who will cheer you on here in the community. And if you don't want to say anything in the comments below, that's fine too. Just pop in an emoji of whatever you'd like me to see that's relevant to what you're feeling today or right now. Listen, if you're not a subscriber and you'd like to, I would encourage you to do that. And I would love for you to be a part of this community. These are amazing people that are in this group, and I get great recommendations from them, great support all the time. They're very brilliant people. They're very good at telling me when to slow down and create more ease and what is enough and those kinds of things. So it's a great space. And so if you haven't already, I encourage you to do that. Like this video if you wouldn't mind, because that also pops me up into some people's feeds that I don't know. And I've met a lot of new people lately, which has been really, really fun. So the end of the intentions for today has come, and I hope that you are filled with ideas and filled with support and give yourself lots of grace. So happy Bookmas, and as always, happy reading. Bye.